Hi there, Joka here with a new video on release day at Spellbinders. I actually have two videos. This is one of them. These products are from Susan's Garden Club collection, and I have two sets. This one is the Oriental lily set. There's some wellies and these lily parts in it. Then I'm gonna show you in a second. This is an A2 card size. So the wellies are really, really big, which is why I decided to work with a 5x7" size today. And then there is the next set. This is the Geranium set. It comes with a bucket. It has like a separate handle and then all these parts that I will show you how to use, but you should check out Susan's videos on the Spellbinders channel because she explains in real time, I think, how you want to do this. Here I'm kind of just showing it quickly. I'm following her instructions because I wouldn't have a clue how to use these tools or how to shape flowers at all. So I'm using some of the, I think, two sizes of the bowl tool, then the smaller loop tool, and what is that again? I don't know, the one that you use for the leaves, maybe it's leaf tool. And I really just follow her instructions here. And I'm using or just adding some freckles because apparently that's typical for these flowers. But I did not have colored fine tip pens. I only found that brown one in my kid's stash. And it's not really fine tip either, so it's not perfect, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And that's what it looks like. I recommend that you start out with these, I forget the name. It has some X at the end, I think. Calyx, that might not be it. Anyway, this middle part, adding the enamel drops, Nouveau drops, whatever they are called, because they need some time to dry. So you can set them aside and then work on your flowers and the rest of the card. So I actually prepared those before the video. Okay, so you see these embossed lines on the wellies. I actually decided to use another pattern paper and add some accents later. Not much, actually they are very small pieces, but I think they add a little bit of, I don't know, extra, just I think they look better. I decided to use, because I am using all kinds of colors for my flowers and the wellies, I decided to go with a black and white striped background, and I'm cutting this a little bit smaller than the 5x7 card base. And yeah, I'm just going to glue everything directly on here. I don't even add foam tape to those wellies, or I don't add any dimension. The flowers are plenty dimensional. So yeah, as you can see, I used pattern papers. I don't know, I wanted to try something different. Last time I used these or created these flowers, they were, I actually used the Spellbinder specialty cardstock, which works wonderfully. But I wanted to create a different look. I did not want to, if you know me, you know that I hate coloring, even though it is easy. I just did not want to do that. This is quicker once you settle on the pattern paper, that is, but it goes quicker, the die cutting and assembling, if you don't have to color. And besides, you know that I love pattern paper, so I just wanted to try I mean, you can decide if it looks any good or not. I was not going for realistic this time, but I still followed the instructions on how to create and assemble these flowers. Okay, so I'm trying to decide where I want to add some leaves. I'm basically just filling up some empty spots there, and I used 5 lilies. I think I actually created 6. I had another yellow, but it's just then I was thinking, I don't know if this kind of rule exists everywhere in the world, but you know, they say that you should give an uneven number of flowers, at least in my country. I don't really care about things like this, but I thought maybe, okay, maybe somebody else does. Okay, so here's what I was talking about earlier. I just dye cut a part of the wellies where I wanted to fussy cut some pieces from. As you can see, just really small pieces, but I think it gives it a fun look. Both papers are actually they both have hearts. One is bigger, the other one is tiny. And by the way, I have not mentioned this, most of these papers, except for the background, is from the new beautiful Paige Evans Bungalow Lane collection. And actually that is the same collection I'm going to be using on my second card, except for the background there as well. I mean, her papers are very colorful and full of patterns, so I wanted to use something for the background that's more, you know, like simple black and white or gray or something like that, to tone down all the colors. Okay, so this card is ready, and moving on to my next one here, the geranium. And I'm starting out by creating these flowers, and for that, I mean, again, you should really watch Susan's videos, but I'm using the loop tool first, and then I'm with my tweezers here, the reverse tweezers, I'm just bending back on the sides of the petals, and then cupping the flowers with my smallest bowl tool. And I don't know how many I created, a lot of them. And then there is this weird shape. This is just to create some dimension on your card so that you can build on top of that. So I use the same green paper for those as my leaves here. And these leaves were also created in a very specific way, so I guess it's best if you check Susan's videos. But I think I really like how that looks. I don't want to say realistic, because obviously pattern paper cannot look realistic, but just the shaping of it and everything, the texture, it really does remind me of geraniums. So I really like that effect. Okay, so now I'm creating my card here. And like I said, that gray paper, I think that is an old Studio Calico paper. And then all these other ones are from Paige's new collection. And for the handle, I'm using like a matte gold paper. I think that's from Tonic Studios. And then I glue this down. You know, this is why I actually never assemble a card like this. I always assemble it without gluing everything down first, just so that I know where I have to place things. But here I just couldn't do that, because you have to place the flowers you know, close to each other when you glue them down, and you cannot really anticipate where everything is gonna go in the end. So and yeah, I I could have put that basket a lot more further up because I'm gonna have a whole lot of empty space at the top, but okay, I'll know next time. So these weird shapes that I was talking about, as you saw under the smaller one, I added some foam tape and then I added this on top. And these will just give you the color in the background to fill behind the flowers, just to give you the idea that there's leaves there. And then I have two sizes of these leaves, and I'm just gonna try to alternate between them to not have, you know, the same size. Just to give it a bit more of a natural look, I guess. Not that I'm really not so familiar with flowers. My mom has geraniums, but not this kind. The ones, I don't know if you call them climbing geraniums, but that's what we call them. And that's what she has every year on her balconies and everywhere, terrace. And not so familiar with this type. I only have orchids myself because they don't seem to die on me most of the time, actually. I'm not very good with flowers for some reason, but I do love them. And, you know, I'm always dreaming about having these beautiful gardens, and then maybe I can learn. But I don't know, every time I want to learn something about flowers, they just all need different care. It's just too much information for my head. So anyway, I'm trying to now put all these together. And if you can, I don't know if you can see in this light, but I use two different papers. One is like more red, and the other one is a bit more pink. Actually, that pink heart paper is the same what I used on some of the parts of the previous card. And honestly, I was a bit struggling here. Susan does show how to put these two flowers together, but somehow I felt like I just couldn't get them right. But once I started to glue them down, and you know, I'm trying to glue them really close to each other, kind of the petals folding into each other. You don't see any, well, not many gaps there, so it actually works out wonderfully, I think. So don't be well discouraged if they don't look right to you at first. And so I'm just layering them on top of each other, and then trying to see if I can add some green, some leaves behind as well. But there's this other piece here, the buds that I created earlier with the with some Nuvo drops that I showed you. And they have these teeny tiny green paper pieces that you just shape with a loop tool, and then glue down the you know, just one end of it so that it looks like the buds are covered. And then I think I'm gonna add two of these, and I actually used a lighter green paper for this one because, again, I could be totally wrong, but I think young or like new things, buds and everything, they seem to have a lighter green stem. But again, I could be totally wrong, so just ignore me. I'm just babbling. Okay, so I'm placing two of those in there, and then I'm just going to stick a few, like I cut some leaves in half, and that's what I'm going to use here to create the shape that I wanted. And what you see me do there is I was just selecting, I had a few more pieces of these little things die cut, but the pattern paper that I used has some white floral designs, and I tried to avoid the white parts, so I just selected ones that were mostly green. And I think I'm going to hold this up in a second so you can see up close what this looks like, because it's really tiny. So I don't know if that shows you what that looks like. So yeah, and then this design is pretty much done, and I'm just going to add some like gems to the middle. Spellbinders has a lot of different ones, but they do not have red. At least I don't have red. I don't think they have. So I selected this honeybee pack that had the exact same darker red that I used for my buds, the Nouveau Drops, I think it was called Ruby Slippers or something. And it's the same kind of dark red. Unfortunately, my head was in the frame, so I had to edit that part out, but I hope that in the close-up pictures you will see these tiny gems. And I only added them to the flowers where you can actually see the middle, because there was a lot of them. Okay, and so that's done as well. I hope you liked the pattern paper version of these flowers. I hope I could inspire you in some small way. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.